coming up with enough money to make ends meet has never been more difficult. And there are companies banking on your desperation for cash, promising money within hours.
But as consumer investigator Jennifer Lukey shows us tonight, if you get tied up with a payday lender, it'll only end up putting you further in debt.
Rich Little got into a bit of a pinch financially a few weeks ago.
Pay off one or two bills.
So he went online looking for a payday loan, immediate cash available to anyone with a checking account to hold you over until you get your next paycheck.
Yeah, pretty easy.
But then the company will want their money back, plus interest, and we're not talking 20 or 30% here.
The initial loan is $250, and it's a $75 fee.
Once Rich clicked to accept the offer, the money was put into Rich's Bank of America checking account just a half an hour later. He thought he'd be paying back a total of $325, but on the due date, the company had tacked on another $75. Here's why. Buried in the fine print, it says,
"This note will be renewed on the due date unless at least 3 business days before the due date either you tell us you don't want to renew the note or we tell you the note won't be renewed."
Translation, they keep extending the loan to get as much money out of you as possible.
They misled people, deceiving. They didn't represent themselves in a formal manner.
It's not just the site Rich chose. Payday lenders all charge insane interest rates. Most sellers share your personal information with other companies. It's just not a good idea to get involved with one. Take Rich's advice.
Borrow from a family member.
And if that's just not an option and you're absolutely desperate for cash, check with your credit card to see how much it would cost you to take a cash advance on your credit card. Rod, normally I would never suggest that, but if you're desperate for money, those interest rates are high, but they're not as high as the payday loan sites.
And it certainly begs the question, how do these companies get away with charging such outrageous amounts of money to borrow?
Well, there are very strict rules in New York State about payday lenders, but a lot of these companies that you find are online, there are other states that don't have regulations at all. They just don't exist. So those sites continue to target people who need the money the most. But there is a bit of good news. Just this week, the Federal Trade Commission sued 10 payday loan companies for deceiving customers. But really, Rod, it's just best to stay away from them altogether.
Borrower, beware.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Jennifer. Now, payday loan interest here in New York State is capped at 25%.